One of the most mysterious and tragic stories in the history of the United States is the case of the disappearance of the Sodder family. The incident occurred on Christmas Eve in 1945 in Fayetteville, West Virginia, and remains full of mysteries and inexplicable details to this day. The Sodder family consisted of George Sodder, his wife Jennie, and their 10 children. They lived in a large house in Fayetteville. On Christmas Eve, a fire broke out in their home. George and Jennie, along with 4 of their children, managed to escape. However, 5 other children, aged between 5 and 14, mysteriously disappeared. At around 1 a.m., the fire started. George and Jennie, along with 4 of their children, survived, but the other 5 were in an upstairs bedroom and could not escape. George tried to rescue them, but the ladder was missing, and his truck, which he intended to use, did not start despite being in good condition the day before. Forced to watch their home burn down, the family was devastated. When investigators searched the rubble, they were unable to find any remains of the children. This is unusual because even severe fires typically leave some remains. There were several suspicious details surrounding the event. The ladder that George always used to get to the roof had inexplicably disappeared and was later found 20 feet from the house in a ditch. His truck, which he had intended to use to reach the upper floor, mysteriously failed to start. Jennie had received a strange phone call from an unknown person asking for someone who did not live in the house the night before the fire. Shortly after, Jennie noticed that the lights were still on and the doors were unlocked, which was unusual. There were also reported sightings of the missing children in different locations after the fire, raising suspicions about whether they had survived and were abducted. The lack of any remains made the family suspect that the children might not have perished in the fire. They conducted private investigations, hiring private detectives in an attempt to find the children. In 1968, the family received a letter containing a picture of a man who some believed was Louis, one of the missing children, with a note stating, "Louis Sodder. I love Brother Frankie. Ill boys. A 90132 or 35."